Hi guys, and welcome back to the Chronic Minimalist. Hopefully you can see me okay in the camera. I don't have one of those flip out cameras, so I can't see whether you can see me or not, so I'm hoping that this is okay. I just wanted to do a little vlog to give you an update on what's been going on with me and what's been happening with me today, just to give a little update on my health and how things are progressing for me. So today I went to the doctor's and I was prescribed some new tablets. You'll see if you've watched my previous videos or if you follow me on Instagram that I have been to a hospital appointment recently where I'd been taken off of caffeine and alcohol and citrus and been told to see how this affects me, and then been told that I would be put on some specialised tablets for my bladder. However, when I went to the doctor's today, although I didn't see my regular doctor, the doctor I did see told me that there's no reason why I should go on to these tablets now. So obviously that's nice and that's something positive for me, because I don't have to wait around for 2 to 3 weeks to wait for the hospital to prescribe them for me. Unfortunately though, when I went to the chemist to get the prescription, they had run out. The young girl in there told me that they were doing their order for that day and it hadn't already gone, so she said they will be in there tomorrow. So hopefully I'll go back tomorrow and they'll be there and I'll be able to start taking them straight away. I also, one of the main reasons I went to the doctor was to get a medical certificate, because I needed to go back to the job centre to be put on extended period of sickness. Now, as you'll know as well if you follow me on Instagram or you followed my previous videos, that I have been chronically ill and chronically in pain since May 2015, and I've still been waiting on diagnosis. And you'll also know that I've been having gynae problems for a couple of years before that major flare happened. So I still am undiagnosed, but I went for a medical certificate and that's signed me off from the 3rd of June until the 4th of July, because the 3rd of June was when I missed my first job seekers appointment, so that's when they need it for, and they can only sign me off for a month. So I will try and keep you updated on how that goes. So I'll have to go back and see my regular doctor to get another extended certificate, as it's very likely that that's what will happen and I'll have to go back. I'd be surprised if that's not the case. And I'd have some kind of miraculous recovery within a couple of weeks. I really don't think that's going to happen. But you know, I'm sure miracles can happen sometimes. So that's what's happening so far. So I went to the job centre with the certificate and they've put me on an extended period of sickness. I don't really know at this point in time why I've not been put on ESA, because I've been having these problems since May 2015, like I said. But I don't know if it's because maybe I started to feel slightly better and that I signed up job seekers allowance. Maybe it was my own fault, but really when I spoke to them initially about ESA, they kind of made out that I wasn't going to get any money out of it and that I was just going to get my NI contributions paid, which is not really what I'm looking for. So because I'd feeling slightly better, I thought it's better for me to sign on job seekers, but realistically that probably wasn't the best thing. But like I said, at least I've been put on extended period of sick. So now I have been just trying to lay about for a bit since I came back from that appointment, because I was really, really tired this morning. I haven't slept, my words are all over the place. I haven't slept very well the last couple of nights, so I had to get up really early to go to the doctor's. So I had like an eye like this and I wasn't really functioning, so I had to drag myself to the doctor this morning. So when I came back I had to kind of sit for a while and try and recoup and get myself together, which obviously I still haven't fully done because I'm all blah, 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 all over the place. But I'm trying, so I'm just going to give you a little insight I'm going to show you what I'm trying to do at the moment, which is trying to do some tidying. I'm especially trying to do it because obviously my boyfriend and my boyfriend's mum did such a nice thing for me, so I'm trying to get a bit more on top of the house today and try and be a bit more tidy. But you might see me, I feel like my eyes drooping. I'm starting to get more and more tired as time goes on, and I'm hoping that I at least get the majority of it done, but there's quite a lot, as you will see in a second. So I'll just show you quickly. Hopefully I won't fall down the stairs in the process. I'll just quickly show you what's going on. So here's what we've got at the moment. We've got lots of stuff on the bed to tidy up. So some of this is from when I stayed at my mum's a couple of days ago. It's all clean. Most of it's clean though, but like I've got like pyjama bottoms, for instance. I've got my straighteners. I've got some heat pads, which I was using on my back. I probably should use one again soon. But I actually find that they make me feel quite nauseous when I have these on for too long, or sometimes if I have them on at all, they make me feel nauseous. But maybe it's because of the hot weather and that I'm getting too hot. But I do find heat can alleviate some of my pain, so I do use a hot water bottle quite a lot, and do use these heat pads. But then, as I say, with the hot weather, I start getting too hot and too sweaty. It seems to be a never-ending battle of trying to be not too hot, not too cold, not too sleepy. You know, I'm sure you can all relate to that. I've also got this bin that I have to empty. So there's a look at me. There's a little look at the towel again. So I'm just going to take you downstairs just to show you a few other things that have been going on. So there we go. Oh, let me just hold on to the... Got a nice little banister here, so that definitely helps. I do maybe think though that if this keeps up as it has been, that when I do move out, I'll have to move to something on all one level, which to be fair is probably all I could afford anyway. So, but my best friend has a very nice flat which is all on one level, so I'm thinking maybe I'll look for something like that. So here is, just thought I'd show you this random pair of trainers. These are my boyfriend's trainers. It's giving you a little insight into my boyfriend. My boyfriend likes anything glow in the dark, anything bright. So it's not surprising that he has a very eccentric, bright pair of trainers. So I'm just going to show you in the kitchen of some of the other tidying I'm trying to do at the moment. You can still hear the tumble dryer in the background. So here we go, lots more tidying up to do. And then I've got some washing going on that I need to take out in a minute, and then as you can see, some tumble drying going on as well. I've also got another little pile here that needs to be done, and then there's some stuff in here. Thankfully all of this stuff is clean, but I'm not able to take this all up in one go, so I'm going to have to take it bit by bit, and hopefully I'll be able to manage that. So now, hopefully you can still see me. I still don't know whether I'm in the shot or not. So now I'm just going to give you a little showing of a few things that I bought from Amazon recently, which were Hayley, get your words together, that were recommended to me by the physio. I'm just going to show you these couple of things that I bought off of Amazon, because they may be something you'd be interested in, something you may use for yourself, or they may just give you a little insight into my life and how I'm working on trying to alleviate some of my health problems. So this camera's getting really heavy in my arm. I'm going to have to give this up very soon. But let's just see what I'm talking about. So the first thing I bought is a specialised stool for the bathroom, which is to kind of put your feet on when you are using the toilet to try and ease some of the pressure and to make things a little bit easier for yourself. So I don't know if maybe you might be someone that suffers from similar problems. You might find this quite useful. But let me just turn the light on 1 second. Bear with me 1 second while I turn the light on, if I can find it. There we go. So I'm just going to show you it quickly. So here we go. So here is the stool. So it has these little two feet parts on either side. I don't know if you can see properly, but they have little footprints on them. They're obviously not my dirty footprints. They are just the footprints that are melded into the fabric, and it says snug on the front. So it's got this thing around it, as you can see just here, where it can fit snugly into the toilet. I actually thought it was going to be a bit smaller than this and fit a bit more snugly into the toilet, but obviously this is better than nothing, and this is really helpful to me. I have found it really helpful so far. I'm just going to turn the camera back to me now. I'll just give you a little look around the bathroom quickly before I turn the camera back to myself. There you go, little look around the bathroom. So I've found that, so when I went to the physio, she told me that apparently that we were built to squat, and that toilets, obviously I knew toilets came around however many years ago, but we were actually made to squat. That's what our bodies are made to do. So sometimes if you use, obviously you're going to use a toilet, but it can put a lot of pressure on you, and when you revert to the squatting it can alleviate a lot of that pressure and make things a lot easier. I just found it really funny and interesting when she told me this, because when I went travelling around Southeast Asia in 2010 and I went on an overnight train, I found it really strange at the time that you had to squat to use the toilet on the train. But obviously we're not very up on the times, and the Vietnamese or the Thai, whoever it was, were much more ahead of the times, and they know what is best for our bodies. A lot of the Asian cultures seem to be a lot more aware of what's better for their health and better for their bodies, but we don't seem to want to do that kind of thing. Realistically, I couldn't actually squat now fully like I did in that overnight toilet because my hips would just completely give way. And as you can probably see, my hand's starting to shake now with the weight of the camera, so I'm just going to turn it round and give you a little more show and tell of a couple of things, and then I think I'm going to have to give this up, but bear with me 1 second. So I've been watching BET. I do like a bit of from the bottom up, or a bit of Run's House, or those kind of stuff. I also like The Real. I occasionally watch the Wendy Williams show, but I don't really like that. It just seems a bit forced. So this is just the boxes that my stuff came in yesterday. I've got to tidy those away as well. Just still got my plate here at the moment from when I had my scrambled egg that I posted at lunchtime with my trainers. Apparently we both like bright trainers. I got my nice bright trainers that I wore today, and I also got my, see, you can see it's all set up. It's got tablets there, it's all set up. I've got my bottle of water there, my tea, my blanket, my cushions, and I also got my nice Fox hot water bottle, which I've been using to try and alleviate some pain. I think I'd have to fill that up again in a minute, but it's very cute and it keeps me very cosy. So I'll be going back there very shortly if I don't lay down in the bed with my tail or under the covers watching Dexter, which I also like to do. This is just some stuff that I've been trying to sell on eBay. There's actually some stuff outside as well, but I won't show you that because that's even more of a mess. But this was just some stuff. I was really desperate for a dress to wear to the wedding I went to on Saturday, so I just kind of went through every dress that I had, even the ones I was getting rid of, to just try and find myself something to wear. Thankfully I did find something eventually. So thankfully I did find something eventually, which was a nice brown ombre dress. But yeah, I had to dig through the stuff I was going to give away to try and find myself something to wear. A lot of my stuff doesn't fit me anymore, which doesn't really bother me, but when you haven't really got the money to buy new stuff, it is a bit hard. But realistically, I'm not a very materialistic person. I do most of my shopping in charity shops, or having hand-me-downs, or buying things in sales. So, you know, just making an outfit out of what I've got is not really a big issue to me. But I'm just going to take you upstairs and show you one more thing, and then I'll be signing off. So I'll just show you on the stairs. I'll have to try and make myself back up them, so bear with me 1 second. So there we go. Oh, you'll see, if you look closely, you won't be able to see because it is light at the moment, but my boyfriend, as I said, he loves things that are glow in the dark. He came back from download at the weekend, and he has some leftover glow in the dark stick things or bracelet things that you just join together or wrap around your arm, and he decided to put them all up the stairs. But actually, initially I was like, really, is that what you're doing? But I actually think it's a really good idea, and it's actually really helpful at night time, especially if I stay up later and I try to come up the stairs, because I usually have to have my phone with me to try and guide me, but these, when the lights are out, these actually light up very well, and they are good to guide you up the stairs. So there's the towel again. I'm just going to sit back to the top of the stairs for a second. Just going to sit back here for a second and just tell you one last thing that I was going to say before I sign off. So let me just catch my breath for a second, because I'm feeling very tired and out of breath now. So the last thing I was going to talk about is these. So I'll just turn the camera around 1 second. So it's these. So this is the last thing I was going to talk about. These are one of the products that I also got delivered. So they are called, it says an NHS Innovation. Ooh, good, eh? So they're called Femax, and it says for feminine care for women of all ages, and they're by My Age. So I bought these on Amazon. These are actually, if you're unaware, these are dilators, which are meant to be used for pelvic exercising and to stretch that area to help you with any kind of pain or issues in that area. So I have bought these off of Amazon, and I'm hoping they're going to work. I haven't actually used them yet, but I'm hoping to have a bath shortly and trial one of these out and see how it works. Hopefully it will start giving me some alleviation of some of my pain, as well as the painkillers I've been prescribed, and using the stool that we just mentioned. In case you're wondering, this kind of thing is more for tightness, if you have pelvic tightness, but if you have pelvic weakness where you do kind of sneeze and you have a bit of fluid come out, or if you, when you cough, that happens, then it's probably better for you to get something that is weighted so that you can build up the strength of the muscles in it by gradually adding on stronger and stronger weights. But this is to more loosen it. So if that's something that you need to do, then maybe you would like to look these up on Amazon. I think they're about £25. They might be slightly more, they might be slightly less. I initially saw some that were really nice different colours that are medical grade silicone. There was about 5 of them in different sizes, but unfortunately they were £100, and I don't really think when I'm not working or contributing any money I can expect my boyfriend to pay £100 for some vaginal dilators. Because I don't really think that that's what he wants to be spending £100 on. So that's that, and that was the final thing I wanted to show you today. So I'm just gonna, here was a little summary. So I've showed you the tidying and stuff that I need to do. I've showed you the products that I got in the last couple of days and given you an update on what's happening with my health. So I hope you've enjoyed this update. I'm hoping to gradually work my way through this tidying and do as much as possible, and then, as I said, give myself a nice relaxing bath and try to use one of those dilators, and I hope that that will give me a nice relaxing amount of sleep tonight. I'm definitely going to watch some more Dexter later because that's my favourite thing that I'm re-watching, and if you've never watched Dexter, you definitely need to watch it. It's one of the best shows I've ever seen. It's very consistent all the way through to the end, although the ending didn't make me very happy when I initially watched it, but it's a very, very good show and it's definitely worth a re-watch. So a watch, a re-watch, or whatever you, whether you've seen it before or not, definitely watch Dexter. It's highly recommended by me. So I hope you've enjoyed this vlog, guys, and that you've got something out of it. I hope to give more of an interesting and insightful vlog next time. But for now, I hope you've enjoyed it and I look forward to connecting with you soon. Bye, guys.